How do you use buffers effectively in Node.js? Imagine working with data so raw that it needs to be handled at the byte level. That's where buffers come into play in Node.js. Buffers are used to manage binary data, which is essential for many web development tasks. They are fixed-length sequences of bytes, perfect for working with streams, files, or network data. To use buffers well, you need to know how to create, manipulate, and manage them properly. Node.js offers three main ways to create buffers. The first is Buffer.alloc, which creates a buffer of a specific size filled with zeros. This method is safe because it prevents exposing old memory data. For example, if you want a buffer of 100 bytes, you write Buffer.alloc 100. The second method is Buffer.allocUnsafe, which also creates a buffer of a certain size but does not initialize it. This is faster but can contain old or sensitive data, so only use it when performance matters and you plan to overwrite the buffer immediately. The third way is Buffer.from, which creates a buffer from existing data like a string, array, or another buffer. For instance, Buffer.from hello makes a buffer with the text hello. Writing data into buffers is straightforward. You can use the write method to insert strings or binary data at specific positions. For example, write data 0, UTF-8 writes the string data starting at position 0. To read data from a buffer, you can convert it back to a string with toString or extract parts with slice. Slicing creates a new buffer that references the same memory, making it efficient for handling parts of data without copying. Managing buffers efficiently is key to good performance. Always prefer Buffer.alloc when security is a concern to avoid leaking sensitive information. Use Buffer.allocUnsafe only when speed is critical, and always overwrite the buffer before use. Reusing buffers instead of creating new ones reduces memory pressure, especially when processing large amounts of data. In web development, buffers are useful for handling file uploads or downloads by processing chunks of data instead of loading entire files into memory. When working with network protocols like Transmission Control Protocol or User Datagram Protocol, data arrives as binary streams, making buffers essential. They are also handy for encoding and decoding data in formats such as UTF-8, Latin1, or Base64, which are common in data transmission and storage. When interfacing with native C++ add-ons or binary protocols, raw memory manipulation with buffers becomes necessary. Some useful buffer methods include copy, which copies data from one buffer to another, and fill, which sets all bytes in a buffer to a specific value. The slice method is great for creating subbuffers that reference the same memory, making data handling more efficient. Mastering buffers in Node.js helps you handle binary data smoothly, making your applications faster and more reliable. Whether you're managing file streams, network data, or native modules, understanding how to create, write, read, and manage buffers is fundamental. This knowledge allows you to work effectively with low-level data, which is a core part of web interaction and development tools in Node.js.